Hi guys, welcome back to Bunny Brook Design. So as you can see, I've got some seed beads and some bicones out because we're going to be making this earring, and I've been designing it, and I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I want to make this a little wider up here, but we're going to be making this together, and I did this in 4-pound fire line, but it's very thin. I don't like it, so I'm going to be using 6-pound. So we're going to jump right in. This is going to be very quick to make. Really, it is. So we're going to take some 6-pound fire line, and I don't even know if I have enough, but I've got some on this needle. We're going to need 18 4mm bicones for each earring and 11 seed beads. So I was using this tray. I'm just going to use the fabric. So first to start, we're going to pick up 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to pick up 6 seed beads. Okay. And we are going to pass back through them all. I like to reinforce everything. Leave yourself a tail, not too long, but not too short either. You're going to want to be able to weave your ends back in. I am going to tie a knot in this just to keep it from loosening up as we go. And if yours is misshapen, I just take a pair of scissors or take something. You could use a paintbrush tip or something if you have something small. Just something to make it round. So that you're rounded out like this. And then what we're going to do is, so I am coming out, and it's really hard to see. I'm coming out basically between these two beads, this bead and this bead. So because I tied a knot, it doesn't really matter which direction I go, but I'm going to move in the normal direction that I've been going. So we're going to skip the seed bead. So we picked up a bicone and a seed bead. We're going to skip the seed bead. We're going to pass back through the bicone and through the next seed bead. Okay. Pull that nice and tight. And then we're going to repeat that. So I'll do it one more time with you. And then I'm going to talk about some updates while we're going around. So I'm coming out of this seed bead right here. So I'm going to pick up my bicone, my seed bead, slide everything down, skip the seed bead, go back through the bicone, and go through the next bead right there. Okay? And again, pull it tight, adjust your seed beads there, and then we're just going to repeat around until we get back to the next side. All right, so updates. As you saw, I don't know if you saw, I know my subscribers got the notification. If you haven't, the reason why, one of the reasons, it's not all of it, but part of the reason why I've been MIA as much lately was I was finishing up the book, and I didn't want to say anything about it because I had been writing it for years. The book about my rescue bunny Chance. So it was a labor of love, and it took a lot of strength to write that because he was a very special bunny to me. So anyways, I wrote the book. It's available on Amazon. I am donating $2 of my royalties from the sale of each book to the rabbit rescue that I am a member of. So, which is why it's priced the way it is because it's not only going to benefit me, but it's also going to benefit the rabbit rescue. And in order for me to do that, I needed to charge, the price for the book in order to get enough in royalties to cover my costs and help support the rescue. Anyways, that being said, check it out. It's a very emotional story. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll get angry, you'll feel happy. You know, I made it fiction based on his real life, and then I give an example of, you know, what happened in his real life. All right, so at this point, we are back around. And so what we're going to do is, now that I'm coming out, I'm going to go back up into this next bicone here. From where we're coming out, please do not get your threads tangled like I'm about to do. There we go. Then go back through the seed bead. And now this is where we're going to start making our next one, but this is going to be a little bit different to start. So we're going to pick up a bicone, a seed bead, and a bicone. And now we're going to pass through this next seed bead at the other side, if I can get through it. There we go. So now if you wanted to make a bracelet like this, we could extend this along and make a bracelet. We may do the bracelet at some point. Now I'm going to pass back through the bicone and back through that seed bead. Okay, and make sure I pull that nice and tight because I don't want this loose at all. All right, and there we go. We're nice and tight. Now I'm going to pick up 2, 3, 4, and I need some more seed beads. I need to pick up 5 seed beads. So I have 5 seed beads, and I'm going to make a loop here. So now I have 6 seed beads with that one that was already on it. And again, I am looping back through everything. So I'm going to pass back through all of these beads. And back through that. And as you can see, it's not quite round. So again, something, if you want, you can just pull something in there to make it rounder. So it's starting. Now, because I'm coming out of this bead, this is my next bead. So I am going to reinforce this connection by going back up through the seed bead, skip the seed bead, go back down through the bicone, and going through the next seed bead. Just like that. So now we're back to the point of picking up bicones and seed beads and going around. So it's going to be the same as it was with the first one. So you pick up a bicone and a seed bead, skip the bicone, go back through the skip the seed bead, go back through the bicone, go back through the next seed bead. All right, so I'm going to continue working on this, and as far as updates goes, Bella's sick again. She decided this morning she was going to have diarrhea. I have no idea why. She hasn't been right since she ate that hay cube that had something in it. So she's earned herself a trip to the vet tomorrow. Unfortunately, they couldn't see her today. So I'm hoping that I don't need to take her to the emergency vet, kind of monitoring her today. So fingers are crossed, being a Sunday, there's limited staff at the vets, at her normal vet. So yeah, fingers crossed that, everything's okay. And it's just, we need to give her some more medication. And, but that's the life of a rabbit, a rescued rabbit. So, a lot of times bunnies, that come in that don't get adopted out tend to be bunnies that are special needs. So she was special needs. She was adopted out and brought back, and so she's going to be a challenge. All right, so now we've gotten 2. As you can see, I've got my 2 points. So now I'm going to go back up through this bead, this bicone here, the next bicone. Oopsie, as I throw my work because my hands are getting caught in the thread. We're going to go back up through the bicone. Try not to snag things. And then we are going to go back through this seed bead. And so now we're going to repeat the process. We're going to pick up a bicone, a seed bead, and a bicone, and we're going to pass through this side here. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, but wait a minute. What about, that's not going to be even. It will, trust me. It will. So now I've gone and done that. I'm going to pass back through, and we are going to repeat the process of picking up 5 seed beads. And then you'll see where I'm going here in a minute. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So I've got my 5 seed beads. And I'm going to make my loop as usual. And I am going to double up, just because I always like to double up. I mean, that's the thing. You don't want to just pass through this once, do all this work, and then only to have it fail because you didn't, all right, so now we're going to go back up through the bicone and through that seed bead, skip the seed bead, go back through the bicone, and go back through the next bead. Now this is where it gets different, okay, because we're not just going to pick up the next seed bead, bicone and seed bead, because now we have to join to this other side. So I'm going to pick up one bicone. I'm going to go through this bead here. Okay. And then I'm going to go back through the bicone. And make sure that's nice and tight. Back through the next seed bead. So, as you can see now, I've got my 3 points, so now all I have to do is continue on with the remainder of my bicone and seed beads, and then we will get to making the hanger in a second. All right, so yeah, so Bella's not doing well today. The other thing that has kept me away from beading is I bought this new thing for my Reiki business. It's called the Bioacoustic Sound Lounge, and I have to say it's fabulous. It's very relaxing. You can use it for meditation, relaxation. And so I've been literally using that for hours and hours and hours every day. All right, so now we're back to our center bead. I'm going to go back up through this one. go back up, go back through my seed bead, back through the bicone, and there. So now we're at that point where I'm coming out of the bicone and I need to go through the seed bead and go up through the next bicone. I'm going to do this the way I designed it, or the way it's designed originally, and see if I like it. So now I'm coming out. I'm going to go through the bicone, or through the seed bead, through the bicone, through the seed bead. Now I'm going to pick up 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 seed beads. Okay, so now I've picked up 10 seed beads. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up one more, and I'm going to pass it so that the thread's coming out this direction. I'm going to pass the needle back through that first bead, if I can not lose it here. So I'm going to pass back through this in the same direction. Now I have the one bead on my needle, and I'm passing it through in the same direction. And trying to make sure you slide it down so it's nice and tight to those seed beads. So what that's doing is that's creating like a herringbone stitch. So now I'm going to pick up one seed bead, go back down through that stitch, pick up one more seed bead, and then go through this next stitch down here. So as you can see, there's my thread bridge between these two beads. I want to go through that next bead. So this bead right here. So I'm going to pass my needle back through both of those creating basically a mini herringbone stitch there. So now I've got the beads side by side there, and I know that looks kind of odd at the moment. It will look better in a minute. Now I'm going to pass through that bead that we added on the top that's sideways, and I'm going to pick up 4, 5. I'm going to pick up 6 seed beads. I'm going to pass back through that bead, and I'm going to go through this 3 times, because this is where you're hanging your jump ring or your ear wire or whatever you're hanging off of this. So you really want to make sure this is super sturdy. So I'm going to pass through 3 times if I can and make this a nice, pretty round loop. And I'm glad I used the 6-pound instead of the 4-pound with you guys, because this is working much better. It feels much better. I want it to be more stiff. All right, so now I've gone through 3 times. I'm going to pass through this last seed bead, and this is going to starting to get stiff there because there's a lot of thread. And as you can see, I've got my tail tucked in, so I'm just going to pull the tail out. And then now I'm going to go back down through the 2 herringbone stitch, and I'm going to pick up 8 seed beads. So now that I've just tossed seed beads all in my, we're going to have to clean that, but oh well. Seed beads are not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I've got 8 additional seed beads. And then as you can see, we're now going to go through and go down through that bicone and pull that nice and tight. So there is what it's going to look like. Let me get this guy out of the way. And because it's not tight right now, it is causing an issue. So we're going to go back through a few beads here. I'm going to go back through my circle if I can get my all right, can't go through that. Been through that too many times apparently. So we'll try it this way. So the next thing I want to do is I want to pass through that. I want to pass through all of those beads again just to stiffen up. So I'm going to go back up through. We'll go back up through this one. I was going to go back up that way, but we'll go this way because it doesn't like. And believe me, once you start getting a lot of thread through these, it's going to stiffen up quite a bit. The other thing you can do is if you want it stiffer, you can take like spray starch, Mod Podge, something like that, and use that to stiffen it. I've done that before so that the beads lay exactly the way I want. You just, I usually use spray starch just cause. All right, so now back through that bicone, and then we can just go and tie some knots now. So there we go, perfect. So now to tie a knot, I'm coming out of this bead. I'm just going to stick my needle through the center here. And do that. And I'm going to do that one more time there. And then see if I can pass my needle through a seed bead. Yep. Pull the knot through, go through a couple more. That is if I can get through them. It's starting to get stiff at this point, so and we're going to do one here. Go through the next. Go through that. So I'm using the pliers to pull straight so I don't break needles. That's why I'm doing that. We're going to put one here. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't do that. Premature needle knot tightening. Not what I wanted. All right, and then I'm going to go through that bicone. So I've put enough knots in there that I feel comfortable with snipping this off. So now we're just going to snip that. And I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to thread the other side. There. It looks weird until it gets on the hanger. That's got a little Oops. So what I'm doing is my thread has a little piece of fur. It's really hard for you to see probably on camera. So I'm just snipping it, and I still see that little piece of fur. And I think it's those scissors. There we go. So I have a pair of scissors that are dulling. I need to get new I got new scissors. I just need to get the old ones sharpened. There we go. Oop. Well, I had it in there. There. So what I'm doing with the 6-pound Fireline is I'm using a really tiny needle. And in order for me to get the Fireline on, I have to smash the end. So I usually just bite on it. Or crimp it between pliers. So now I'm just going to do a couple of knots. I just went through away from the knot that we created with this, because I want to do knots in different places. So there's one. And now I can pass it up. And what I can do is go down through some of these beads into one of these other rounds, trying not to snag my thread. Go through a seed bead. I'm going to tie another knot here by going through the center. And then just making sure when I'm pulling this that my thread is exactly where I need it to be. There we go. And then I'm going to go back through. That is, if I can get there. Go. And on this one, because we already created a knot on this, I created several knots. I don't need to create too many knots with this side. I'm going to go ooh, did I? No, I didn't. All right, good. And I think one. All right, there we go. And see, that one stopped being round again, which annoys me. So there, I'm just going to, I will probably take these and I will probably put a bit of, I'll tack it down on a board and stiffen it with stuff. All right, so I think we're good there. I'm going to cut this off as well so we don't have our needle in there. And so that's what it's going to look like. It's going to hang. I don't know. I like it. I think it's cute. So this is done with the 6-pound Fireline, and if you notice, it's stiffer. And this one's kind of floppy, and what I didn't want was it to, when you're you're wearing it, it flops around. The 6-pound might be good for or the 4-pound might be good for a bracelet. And I think we'll do a bracelet. I think we're going to do 3 and then 2 and then, we'll do 3 and then 3 and then maybe some herringbone off of this. Yeah, I think we'll do that in the next video. We'll do a bracelet to match, and then maybe we'll even do a necklace. So anyways, that's how you create that. I'm going to go create the other one again and get it done so I have my earrings, and then go check on Bella and I don't know, do something else after this on this nice rainy day, or maybe just figure out how to make this into a nice bracelet. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. And if you're skimming through these videos, please don't. Please watch in the entirety. It really helps my channel grow, and I know I can tell that my view hours have been down, so yeah, please watch my videos. It really helps me, and I enjoy doing these things for you. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.